Hello, and welcome to another episode of Between Two Pints. Today, I have my good friend Mike Lee, who you've probably seen with such films as Curse of the Cleric and The Power of the Wingman.
Yeah.
And what are you here to talk to us today about, Mike?
Oh my God, I didn't prepare anything. Oh no. All right. Well, it's okay. Good. Hey, this was nice. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
You want to restart?
No. This is all part of it.
Oh God.
This is
so you're
a
like
bit
pretending. Oh, it's a bit.
yeah.
Oh, it's a bit. Sorry.
Fuck. Yeah.
I ruined the bit.
What's the level of cursing that you like in yours?
I mean, I allow some, yeah.
Some.
We're not monetized.
No. Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, I've said fuck and other bad words. Yeah.
Okay.
But before
we're not limited to like 5.
Yeah, it's gonna get weird though, guys, because we're actually doing. Mike's never really had these Guinness Nitro cold brews, and we were talking about how it would be here. I'll hold this up because it's probably cutting my close up. So these are neat because they have like a little widget in it, and they allow the perfect pour. So you crack it up, and then you do this. And then this is totally not going to work because they're
widget. What the hell are you talking about?
Flip it over.
It's a regular.
No, there's a plastic thingy in the bed.
Okay.
And just turn it straight up and down. Because like in the world of like, oh, you got to pour it or this and that. This is how you do it. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is not going to be a massive mess after? Oh no, well, you know what? I was wrong.
Yeah, no,
I am wrong.
It's strong. Only a strong man can admit he was wrong.
Nice. That is actually cool. What the hell? Because I thought this was going to open and some metal thing. Like I was going to see the patented technology that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, no, if you shake it, you can hear it. Shake it into the mic. Shake it. Yeah, there you go. See?
Do you do well with the ASMR market out there, Rob? It's probably the consistency, right? Because if I just did that and you turned up your volume, that would be really loud and shitty for you, right? So, yeah.
All right, well, cheers. Here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, real talk, Mike.
That's nice. Yes.
What's the beer like?
It's like a coffee, for sure. Yeah. And someone poured a beer into it, which is cool, which I like.
Yeah, you're not. I don't see you as a super beer oriented guy. So how do you feel about this?
I'm what they used to call at all my old jobs, one beer Mike. was my casual nickname at the bars. So even though I went to bars, I never really can handle more than one. And I should note that I didn't have lunch today, so it's like 5 p.m. right now. So
are we gonna do the
I think I'm gonna get hammered real quick on this.
Are we gonna do the SpongeBob thing where it's like a few moments later and you're like standing on the table like swinging your shirt around?
I think in the time it takes you to grab the physical card you have that says a few moments later and you pull it away from my face, this camera will catch how red I've become in those minutes. So
well, I don't actually need alcohol to go red face. In fact, I think looking at the screen, I'm already
you're just
doing the red face.
Well, because I've been sitting here comfortably and you've been setting up all this. So
yeah, also I'm
a little behind the scenes for everybody.
High body temperature. Yeah. So yeah, Mike.
Yes.
Let's get to the meat of the conversation. You're here to talk about something.
Right.
In fact, you took your outer shirt off to show off your logo.
Yeah. Okay. So I have successfully successioned a business from another person, a young man named Dan Ganane, is a fellow actor, former MMA fighter, stunt performer in Vancouver. He started this business called Vancouver Action Training Studio, and I've just ousted him from his own thing. He signed it over to me, and it's officially legally my thing now. So holy shit, now I have a business. I run the show. So I figured I should probably at least kind of advertise a little bit every once in a while.
So yeah, did you have to like defeat him in Mario Kart or hand-to-hand combat?
I don't know that I could defeat him in fucking anything. That young Australian hustle, man. Again, we're gonna blame everything, my inflammatory words on this making me drunk right away. This thing with Australian, not just actors, but filmmakers, they just show up to Vancouver and then just, immediately I'm going to be a series regular now. I kind of want to quit and be a director. I was win some awards. So just sort of, I don't know. I saw a lot in the same, all this to say, I'm praising Dan because, he just made this business out of his own mind of teaching action for actors, not stunts, but specifically fighting for film and TV, something I'm pretty well versed in, but had never thought to make a business out of. I can always forget now. Now I'm talking to you now, but it's rudely just leaving out the real human.
It's okay. Yeah. No, please.
But to answer your question, yes. I did not have to fight for it. I was able to acquire it through just being the main coach of the thing.
That's really cool. So I like now I've heard, I was talking to your colleague Rye, I believe.
Yeah, Ryland Fry.
Ryland Fry, yeah. Rye Fry, which is
Rye Fry.
yeah. And he was telling me that sometimes when stunt people who are incredibly hardworking and it is an incredibly dangerous job, like all respect to them, they hear about this program and they're a little like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But actually, I helped you a couple weeks ago with it, just doing some shooting, and it's kind of like part fitness class, part like just how to throw fake punches and stuff for actors. That's like pretty safe, and also kind of helps actors appreciate the kind of things stunt people have to do.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you again for showing up and helping us out with it. You filmed and you were part of participating. But yeah, it's exactly what you said there. I'm basically just adding detail here in that, yeah, there's a place for action for actors because the stunt community is rightfully so very tight knit. And it's not apparent, nor do I think it should be, really apparent how to get in. Just a person off the street shouldn't probably go on and immediately be able to get a job doing stunts and put themselves and other people's lives in danger. We allow people to go take classes for things like basic acting, voice acting, even how to, pick up a camera and shoot. Like you don't need necessarily a class, right? But there's the entrance, I guess. The bar for entry is that you have to have, I guess, camera money, right? And the enough sanity to make and keep some friends that will show up to a park and film with you, right? So, anyways, all that to say, action for acting is our specific niche because we are avoiding that dreaded S-word stunts. Because the why, back to your original question, why stunt people would be rightfully so keeping everything close knit is because you wouldn't want some yokel to come off the street and put people in danger, and you wouldn't want people who have proven track records of experience and history and credits to their name to be teaching people how to do stunts, which to make it very clear, stunts is anything that is outside the scope physically of what you want your performers, your actors to be doing. So you get hit by a car, or you drive a car that hits someone, or you fall off something and land hard, to more sophisticated fight scenes. That's all stunts. And so action for actors is when you clearly see that it is that actor doing their own performance, their action performance. Cut that. But their action performance, like throwing those first two punches before they duck out of frame, and then you see them turn into someone else before
you're like slightly more fit, but very similar looking.
Place them with a fitter version of that person in a wig before they do a crazy double flip. There's never been like a proper class that teaches it. I was lucky to come from a program at New Image College that they offered a little module, so a couple of weeks out of 2 years of training that was action for actors. But it was very basic, but it was really good too. And throughout the years, I ended up sort of running these little bits of quote unquote classes for free for friends, just because it was a good way to bump the mic. It was a good way to make it so that I had people around me who knew what to do and could be safe performing action on screen.
Well, I know even from my taste of your lesson, you were talking a lot about like when you're throwing a punch, like a fake punch, it shouldn't go near the person's face. It's more about like, what was it, drawing a string from the person's face to the camera and having the punch go between that.
Yeah.
So you could be like a foot away from the person's face, and as long as they react properly and the camera's in the right place, then it's not really a stunt because no one's going to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly that. There's that. I mean, there's many nuanced differences between action performance and stunt performance, and that's one of the big ones. Is actors don't really get a chance to be taught that. I mean, when actors teach, usually it's other actors teaching actors acting class. They might get into some of the information that people pick up from doing years of theater or being cast in action roles, and sort of. But that's still an action. That's still an actor imparting some information that they've seen, and not so much like specific repeatable information that's been scientifically proven to be able to, as we say, sell punches and kicks, sell hits. So yeah, that's what our program is all about.
So what are the details for this? You were telling me that the days right now are sort of a little bit sporadic or moving around, and
Yep.
also your locations. How is that working? This is like your first business that you've run.
It's definitely the first real business with taxes and lawyers that I've run. It's it's a lot of work for me, but that's boring to listen to. So yeah, it's exciting, it's fun. And yeah, we are nomadic right now. We are sort of bouncing between a couple of different places. Cards on the table. It's the difficulty with running any business in this world, in this economy now, in this era of time, is rent's really high, and it just keeps going higher. So, having looked at the numbers, a couple of different jobs I've had in all of this time that I've been an actor. I've worked at a couple of escape rooms. I've worked in restaurants, and getting to look at their numbers and seeing just the sheer amount of money that goes to rent is pretty illuminating and pretty daunting. But that's basically what we're sort of continuously combating, right? Is trying to keep our costs down and not have to jack up the prices for our students, while finding suitable locations. And finding suitable locations for anyone listening who's ever done producing, film producing, is anything from a goddamn nightmare to kind of tough. Part of why we're going to different locations and different days of the week is actually because of demand as well. Because when we first started, we were only Thursdays in a specific location in downtown Vancouver, and a lot of people wanted to come, and a lot of people expressed that they couldn't make it to that day.
I do have to jump in that
Yep.
the place I came and helped you at, even though it was in kind of a sketchy part of
Yep.
town, the free parking outside was
Free parking.
chef's kiss. As a guy who had to bring camera gear, like I hate
Mhm.
downtown.
You couldn't have joined us at Duello, I think, and I know our other coach Andrew Mirage, our resident pro stunty. He's had his car almost towed more than 4 times, which might be his problem, and less a thing that'll happen to everybody. Like, I'm sure people don't avoid Yale Town just because they'll definitely get towed, but it might be a coin problem. Anyway, yeah, when we moved to our second location, we had kind of the same thing. We were locked into a certain day that was Saturdays, and that was really great for a lot of people. But then a lot of our regulars who had bought 5-packs and 10-packs with us, they unfortunately.
Sorry.
God damn it.
It's the beer.
Let's use it. It's all good. It's all gold.
Yeah, no, we're keeping
Do
it.
not cut. Future Rob, do not cut.
All right. Sorry.
Drown it with
I
beer.
just but you actually mentioned the 5 and 10 packs.
Yes. So part of our way to keep training with us is you can just pay for the drop in. You come in and do our classes. But we also sell a 5-pack, a 5 class pack and a 10 class pack, and you can just redeem those at any order. They were designed because actors in general are not. I can't find the word that's not flaky, but that sounds so negative.
Well,
in general are so their schedules are so in flux.
Yeah, I mean, even as a film crew person, when there was work, it's you never know when you're working, and
you never know. That's the whole idea. So that actors who want to stick with us and get some kind of consistent training, you could buy a 5-pack or a 10-pack, and you can redeem 1 or 2 in this week, and then hey, maybe you fly off to Budapest for a month for a shooting, and then you got to come back, and then you've got the rest of your 10-pack to come train with us. So yeah.
So yeah, I mean, how long have you been doing this for? How long ago did this start?
The business started last year in late July, so we did celebrate our VATS's 1-year birthday, so it's just turned 1 recently.
And you call it VATS, so like
VATS
Fallout jokes do you have to tolerate?
A lot of people don't even put it together, I guess. yeah, it's a fun joke between me and Rylan Fry, but yeah, it's it's Vancouver Action Training Studio. I think I just say welcome to VATS, people, and people
Play
tend to
that
just
like
be like,
ching sound from Fallout.
they tend to just be like, yep, that's what this is called. Maybe if their brains for a second are like, what did he just say? No one has stopped class to be like, did you just say an acronym but not,
Yeah, the correct one.
not like tell us yet that there was an acronym. So I don't know. Maybe people are just too polite, and they just, as soon as I'm go like, welcome to this thing, the brain makes that connection to go, oh, that's the thing that this is called.
And when I helped you out, and it seems like you've done this every time, can you just give us like an idea of what the class is like?
Well, the class is broken up into a couple different sections. We always do a little bit of warm up. I myself am a bit of a lazy ass, so I'm that teacher that'll skip turning it into a sweaty cardio class. Although that is certainly requestable if that's what people like. We're always open to feedback. But once people have reasonably warmed up and I've worked the snap, crackle, pops out of my neck and knees, respectively, we go straight into theory. It's a bit of a moving lecture kind of thing. The way I enjoy teaching this stuff is by having people put their hands up, work on their stances, feel it out, move around. I'm moving with them and I'm speaking at the same time. So that hopefully the concepts stick to your mind as you're also making the movement yourself. And I'm always encouraging people to just, keep it open. It's almost like a couple of dance classes I've been to that, like, very fundamental ones that are about not just like follow this and go and be amazing. It's like there's a sort of, here's how you do it. You pop this shoulder first. I've had the breakdance teacher go, the wave has to be the finger and then the wrist and then the elbow and then the shoulder, and there's a whole slow breakdown of it. And I've always just been what's a not visual learner? What's that called? I mean, a learner that's physical.
A doing learner?
A doing.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. There's like, you can learn by seeing things, reading things, being told things. I don't think that works for most people. Or like, yeah, all of those. There's like 5.
Yeah. So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of sort of us, me and another coach talking at you and putting people together in groups of 2s or 3s and having them just try it out. At that point, someone is walking around with one of our cameras so that we can capture some what I call B-roll, but it's actually very important because it is people's techniques. It's people trying out for the first time with throwing punches at another person,
but not
the intention
totally
to look
another person.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of, it's funny because we've got people have their experiences have run the gamut. We've seen people who have clearly just never stepped onto any martial arts gym, right? Any dojo, that they're not, their movements aren't natural in that way, and that's okay. And then we've got seasoned martial artists who, I will say the latter is actually usually a bit more of a red flag for me if I've been a safety consultant on set. People who know how to move, know how to do the martial art, which is to hurt other people. People who've competed before, especially, yikes,
right,
they're more scary.
They've been trained to hit people.
Trained to hit. Their timing and their speed and their musculature. It's all about how to hit the target in front of you, and it's hard to untrain that when you're supposed to train that so well that leads you to victory and money and riches. But anyway, back to our class. The idea is people try out what they've learned. They've got some time to work this out themselves. People work up a good sweat usually. There's a lot of laughter. There's a lot of, people have a good time. And then the last full hour of class is choreo time. So I or one of the other coaches, we start choreographing a fight. Then we show it to the students in pieces. And then last about 15 minutes of class, we film it. And that's our class.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't really enjoy how you told me to film and then suddenly made me participate when I did it, but
yeah.
That's because I wasn't ready.
Yeah, that was, well, you were in jeans,
yeah.
and had probably worked out that day already, right? There was like a leg day or something,
really
so
be sweaty in front of random strangers.
Yeah, and to be fair, we're very welcoming to people who are directors and filmmakers who want to come bring their cameras and work out how to shoot action, because the thing is, the secret third combatant is the cameraman.
Yeah, it was tough. I had to just sort of reach in and start punching people myself. I didn't really expect that.
Yeah, and I had to stop you. Yeah, because you were striking actors directly in the face and causing nosebleeds.
That actually was really interesting for me, because like learning to how to, like, when you were saying like to tie the string from the point of impact and through their fist, and
yes.
like I mostly do silly sketch comedy, and I'd love to do action. I really want to do horror, but I'd love to do action. But it was definitely like always trying to figure out, like, I had to know the routine as well as the stunt people to try and get my body in the right place to like actually have the hit look real.
Yeah, you mentioned a string. I want to make sure I get the terminology right and that I credit the terminology properly, because this is stuff I picked up after class from a stunt performer slash actor friend of mine, Olivier Lunardi. He actually taught me a ton more after I finished class. And yeah, the concept you're talking about was the invisible thread. And it's this thing where I'm continuously, I guess, surprised that people get into action directing and haven't learned this at all. And I actually do believe that there's a lot of stunt people who can be excellent performers, but either because they're not hired to be, quote unquote, fight guys, or they're just not, they're either not hired for this or they haven't done any training formally for this. But people don't know this concept that the whole idea is this invisible string. And that concept is that there is at all times an invisible string from the camera lens to your target. And so if Rob is trying to hit me across the face and sell it to this camera, he would have to cut across the string that's from the camera lens to the chin. As long as he cuts through that, camera lenses compress the image so that it looks like he's able to cut through and hit me like that.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for this guy, and it probably doesn't do much for this guy.
Yeah, it's also these aren't zoomed. You were explaining to me even on the day that zooming in a little more, as most filmmakers know, being on like a higher focal length compresses space a lot more.
Yeah, it compresses even more. I mean, and there's tons of stuff I do not know about cameras that you could probably elaborate on. I don't know that zooming in would do something, zooming out would do something, putting on a whole different lens would do things, frame rates, all this stuff. All I know is that as a concept is what works the best for safety, to be able to sell hits without actually making contact. That the invisible string, theory or practice is the way to do it. And we're basically trying to just spread this knowledge everywhere, because I know that, just speaking for myself, I've just been on a ton of indie film sets where they either didn't know to have a stunt coordinator or at least a safety consultant on set to facilitate this stuff, or B, no one on set knew how to sell a punch besides punch really close to the guy's face and guy just pretend to get hit. And when it's failing and it's taking time and hours and people are getting tired and you're watching this expensive monitor that you've rented, with your student loan, and you're trying to figure out why you're on hour 12 of this thing and you can't get one punch right. Having been in a couple of those, quite a few of those situations in my career.
I just like to point out that probably wasn't any of mine.
No, man. No. You're good. You're great. This is good.
I'll give you the $20 later.
My God, payment? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I think it's pretty essential for any filmmaker who, even if you never plan to get into action filmmaking, there's probably going to be someone getting slapped across the face, or pushed and shoved, and it would definitely pay off to have a fight safety coordinator or an action acting coordinator on your set. And that's what me and the coaches at VATS we do. But hey, also come to our class and maybe just learn it yourself. Take the knowledge and just have that. And that's kind of leads to the overall goal of what we're doing here, besides the short term of money. Hey, we're teaching you guys, please give us a little bit of money for services. It would be very cool to build a community of filmmakers and performers of all kinds who just know how to do safe action acting and can pass that knowledge to the next person. And you make the whole world a safer and safer place that way.
Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of that. I hate it when I'm on sets that I'm not in like a leadership role, because watching people tell actors to do incredibly unsafe stuff, like one thing I've learned is with like a lot of actors be like, oh, can you roll down that hill? And they will, even though
Oh,
there
yeah.
is no reason to think they won't be seriously injured.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
because actors are just like, yeah, I'll do it. Fuck yeah, let's do it. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, don't, like, let's not
Yeah.
break anybody, especially on like a no budget, no paid thing when there's no like workman's comp. And yeah.
Yeah, and you say that too, and I agree with you. And just to add to that, that happens on big, giant professional union sets all the time too. Unfortunately, in that we're talking about a higher level where everyone is trained a good amount and everyone's talented and everyone's physically gifted and all this stuff. But you will have stunt coordinators who just aren't as experienced and who don't have their finger on the safety button. Ask a performer to do something, and now we're on the set of a big giant superhero film, and what are you going to be the one who says no?
Well, and
So that happens.
in those stunt coordinators' defense, also
Yes.
like every time I've been on sets, they save stunts for the end of the day when
Mm-hmm.
everybody's tired, when like stuff is most likely to go wrong. Like I always appreciate it when I'm on a show and they're doing stunts at the beginning or the middle of the day, because the number of times I've seen it where like we're like, oh man, the day's gonna be done early, and then this super complicated, dangerous stunt where a guy's like zip lining off a roof or like, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, I okay, cool, they're all professionals, but like nobody wants to see one of the team get hurt.
Yeah, there's we're all human. There's not magic, it is very dangerous stuff, and we're talking about people's livelihoods. We're talking about all this sort of politics. You say no once and you're the person that said no, like you didn't say no the right way, it didn't go through channels, it gets very dicey. And so I have, of course, all of the sympathy for people who have done unsafe things on set because they feel like they've had to, and didn't feel it's their place to speak up about it. I wouldn't expect anyone at any level to be able to just easily navigate these kind of situations. This is not exactly something that we offer in teaching. But also having been the person who had to shut down a set or two, at least on the indie side, we do also impart some of that wisdom too. So hey, see how I just smoothly brought it back to VATS and training?
Yeah, and like let's while
we
we
share stories.
we're
Yeah.
wrapping it up, I guess. Why don't you do like one pitch into there so we can cut it out and put it in your socials, just like, where you are, what it is, what they can do. They can buy packs, where you are
Right.
on social media.
Are we sure we want an advertisement from old McRedface?
I'll use a filter.
Yes, could please filter me. I don't even filter this though.
Punch him a couple times, he'll justify the rent.
Oh my God, who is that?
That's Andy. It's our
is
it's
that
our media guy.
Andy Manu?
Oh dear, I don't know. You
he's
probably
ruining it.
No,
Oh, he's
yeah,
ruining it.
no, it's you need to sidle in, press your head against the mic.
You got to get him on the podcast when he advertises
Yeah.
something that's going to be really, really
It's
cool.
hot.
Hey, that was nice. That was a good one. Oh,
Yeah, we have a special
Probably
guest.
sold to that, maybe not that. I don't know.
I mean, my entire podcast is just us drinking in my garage, but
I've completely forgotten what the ask was because again, I am drunk and I didn't eat lunch.
okay, well, we'll get you some Duffins,
Yep.
but just give us like the quick 30-second pitch. Where is it? Roughly,
Yeah.
when is it? Like Vancouver, obviously. They can buy 5 packs, they can buy 10 packs. What's your social medias? Where can they find you
Oh, dear
if they're
God.
like, hey, this is cool and I don't want to just Google it?
All right, I've already forgotten what the ask was. Here we go. Hey, come to Vancouver Action Training Studio. We're Vancouver Action Training Studio on Instagram. We do all our announcements on social media. And we teach action for actors. So if you do want to learn how to get into stunts, we'll give you that first little leg up. We'll show you who you can go to train real stunts. If you are an actor and you know that you're going to do any sort of action and you have any questions about how to do any of that stuff, how to keep yourself safe, how to keep your job safe, how to keep your reputation safe, we're all for that. We're all for sharing wisdom between me and the other coaches. There's decades of experience here. It doesn't look it, but I'm actually old as fuck, and experience. And we'll share with you our knowledge. We just want you to come out because we are building a community of people who do their acting safely. We're in downtown Vancouver
It's beautiful. It's just getting a little teary-eyed.
because of the alcohol.
Yeah, no, that's actually
Yeah, I get that too. Yeah. irritation.
And I mean, you didn't mention that you also do little clips. So like if they attend a class, they're very likely to get a little clip of them throwing some punches and
Yeah, all that touchy-feely shit I've said just now in this podcast about safety and all the stuff we're trying to. Hey, listen, if I'm just gonna appeal to people's, selfishness, yeah, we are actors. You need footage. How many times have you had your agent ask you to send some proof that you can do the thing you said you can in the resume? We can at least cover the punching and kicking side, a little bit of knifing. So if you come to our class, guaranteed what you'll get is some B-roll of you throwing punches and kicks. It, hopefully sells. That's on you. That's on camera as well. But the idea is you walk out of any class. Your first class is always free, by the way. Come to our free class and just get some footage. If we never see you again, fine. Hopefully we just left a couple of performers in our town with just a little bit of knowledge on how to be safe. And you're that much more ready to book a big giant acting role tomorrow that requires punches and kicks. And now you know how to sell some punches and kicks better than the next average actor, so that you can work with your stuntman, nice and good and professionally.
And on that, we're going to hold. Andy, can you pass me some friggin' paper towel? My eyes are over there. If you look over there.
Yeah, bring that up, Jamie.
Yeah, let's bring up Rob crying here,
yeah, so
red-faced.
Sponsored by Charmin.
It's so beautiful.
Can we get into the flat Earth hoax, or sorry, the round Earth hoax? Or
What about the moon landing being fake?
you believe in the moon?
All right, here we go.
Did you believe in landings?
Okay, well, I guess we'll do this now. And, well, Mike, I'm sure we'll get you back on because you're over here drinking beer a lot. But thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
And thanks for joining us for this episode of Between Two Pints. All right, let's go get some fried chicken.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cut everything.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah. So it was all about bats. I'm definitely down to come back more. I want to get into
I think it'll help too if we have some times.
Yeah.
Like if once you get a home.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, for bats. Well, that's gonna be a thing.